and which are the ways to handle the exception. We have also seen some of the types of exceptions through coding, and we concluded that every exception will be either of one category. Either it will be checked exception or it will be unchecked exception. If it is checked exception, we are supposed to inform the compiler by any of the ways, either throws or try catch. Or if it is unchecked exception, then if we to inform the compiler will be optional, right? So if you inform it, or if you don't inform it, the compiler will have no issue, right? But for checked exception, if you are not informing the compiler either through throws or through try catch, it is not going to uh, it is not going to have the successful compilation of the program, right? So compiler will say that you need to inform me. Okay, so this was the gist of the previous sessions. Now we are starting with the next topic, that is user defined exception. We have already discussed few things related to it, but I'm starting with the basics of user defined exceptions. So let me present my screen. So is my screen visible to you, everyone? Yeah. Okay. So there are some situations where your Java inbuilt exceptions won't help you. So you have to create your own exception to deal with some situations. And when you are creating your own exceptions, you have to keep in mind that the condition will be yours, and the exception which you are creating, the class, how to handle it, creating the class is also yours. Now we also discussed yesterday that when you want your class to be the of characteristic of exception which can be throwable, we have to make our class as the child class of the exception hierarchy. We have to put our class inside the exception hierarchy so that it can achieve all the properties of the exception classes. Now the choice is yours whether you want to make it, whether you make it the checked exception or unchecked exception. So if you are creating your class, just a second. So if you are creating your class as a child class of the exception class or IO exception class or any child class of the exception, then it becomes a checked exception. If you want your class to be unchecked, if your exception type to be unchecked, you are supposed to make the subclass of runtime exceptions or its child classes. So this is what we have learned. So any doubt so far? So this is to be very clear from your side. Everyone, shall we proceed? Yes. Now let us understand the same situation which we have discussed yesterday, that we are supposed to create the invalid box which will be thrown by the constructor of the blocks class whenever an attempt will be made to create an invalid box. Any dimension is this 0 or less than 0. Yeah, user type exception. So let me create a program for you. So what I'm doing is, let me say I have a class called box demo, in which I'll be having my public static public no I'm having the three parameters: integer length, breadth, and height. So let me have these three parameters. Let us create one constructor which is actually initializing the parameters. I hope everyone is comfortable so far. Integer h, and let me create one thing from this only. Let me tell you that how we'll be inserting code for the same. I want to create a constructor for all the things, so I'll be generating the constructor. So my constructor is ready. I am supposed to write package lecture programs. Fine. Now what I want is I'm creating one driver class, that is class custom exception demo, which is having the main method inside it, public static void main string args. That's it. Now what I want to create, uh, the box X. I want to create the object of box. So how will I create? Box B1 is equal to new box. Now here I am passing the parameters to be stored in all the parameter. Now in this case, when I try to create this, when I try to create the box with dimension 0, 0, 0, we know that we cannot have a box which is having dimension 0 or less than 0. If your length or width or height or any of this combination is 0, we cannot have a box, right? So what we are doing logically, box is not possible. So what we are doing is, when you are creating a box, you know that constructor is going to be called, and these 0 will be stored in L, B will be stored in L, so 0 will be stored in L, then B will be stored in L, and H will be stored in, so all the three parameters will be having 0, 0, 0. Now, and it will be initialized to data member L, B and H, but it should not happen. So before assigning the values into the data members here, we are supposed to check that what is the value of L, B and H. So if my L is less than or equal to 0, or my B is less than or equal to 0, or my H is less than or equal to 0, this is a condition which should not occur, and if it occurs, if any of these three parameters is 0, I'm supposed to throw my exception. Now this condition is actually user condition, right? Specific to this condition, we don't have any exception inbuilt in Java. So you are supposed to create your own exception, that is invalid box. You can give any name to the this. Now what you have to do, you have to throw, in this case you have to manually throw the, because Java will not understand that this is an exceptional situation. Java will only understand that this is an exception situation when it can identify it, if it is its exception. जावा का अगर खुद का एक्सेप्शन है तो वो आइडेंटिफाई कर सकता है, लाइक एरे इंडेक्स आउट ऑफ बाउंड, अरिथमेटिक एक्सेप्शन, ये सब एक्सेप्शन है वो जावा के खुद के हैं, तो जावा कैन आइडेंटिफाई दैट दिस इज नॉट अ नॉर्मल सिचुएशन, एक्सेप्शन सिचुएशन, तो वो ऑब्जेक्ट बना के खुद थ्रो कर सकता है. लेकिन दिस कंडीशन इज एक्चुअली नॉट द जावा स्पेसिफिक कंडीशन, इट इज यूजर डिफाइंड कंडीशन. Hence, we need to tell Java that manually throw the exception. So what we'll be doing, we'll be throwing one exception called invalid box exception, and that's it, right? Invalid box exception. Now when you are throwing the object of this, obviously this class should exist, right? So let us create a class with the same name, class invalid box demo. Let me have the constructor of it. Invalid box demo, and here I am writing right. So I'm just writing simple system dot out dot println You cannot create a box with 0 dimension. You can write any message whichever you want. Now just let me know, is my class has the property of exception yet? Can I throw the object of this invalid box exception? Can I throw? At this particular time, can I throw the object of invalid box exception? Okay, why no, Vicky? Why no? No, that's not the reason. That's not the reason. We cannot throw, but why we cannot throw it? Reference, fine. Reference, I don't need a reference. I know I don't need a reference, so that's fine. Perfectly fine. Anyone wants to try why I cannot throw? The answer is correct. That is no, I cannot throw yet. Why we are, yesterday also we discussed this, and today also I revised you the same thing again. Yes, exactly, Umang. Because still my invalid class is not having any property of exception to be thrown, right? If I want to throw something, it should have the property of get to be thrown, right? Still my invalid block class is a simple class, does not have the property of exception. To have the property of exception, the easiest way is to extend, to make this as the subclass of some class which is there in that exception hierarchy, right? So now it is up to us as whether we want to do it, if we want to keep it unchecked or checked. Let us make it unchecked first. So if I want to make it unchecked, I have to make it the child class of runtime exception. Once I create invalid box exception, sorry, this is an exception, invalid box exception, this particular class will be having all the properties of exception, and hence it can now I can throw it. Now I can throw it. When I will be throwing it, what will happen? When I'll be throwing it, I'll be creating the object first, and then that object is going to be thrown. Now when I throw it, I will be going to this constructor, and the constructor, whatever message we have printed, that will be printed, right? So that is what the meaning of throwing a user defined constructor. Now as it is extending the runtime exception, it is unchecked, so I need not to mention, I need not to inform the compiler compulsorily, and even if I inform it, then also it's fine, right? So let's execute the program and let's see what the output we are getting. You cannot create a box with 0 dimension, right? Because if any dimension is 0, we don't want to create a box. Let me say I'm creating a box with non-zero dimension, some non-zero dimension, then I can have simple thing, box created successfully. I can just box created successfully. Let's run it and see the change in the output. So we are having box created successfully. Now there is no problem. Now as it was unchecked exception, we need not to inform the compiler. Let us see the example of keeping it checked. Now when I keep it checked, when I keep it checked, I need to inform the compiler for sure, either by two ways. Which are the ways to inform the compiler? Which are the ways to inform the compiler regarding the exception? One is, yes, correct. One is using throws clause, and second is easiest way is throws clause, right? And who is going to inform the compiler? Where to write this throws clause? Whose responsibility is to inform the compiler using throws clause? Not main, Amit. It is the responsibility of the method in which the exception is going to be occurred, right? In our case, the exception is going to occur. If it is occurring, then the exception is going to be occurred here in the box constructor. Yes or no? While you are initializing the data member, you are finding that if anyone is 0 or less than 0, it is throwing the exception. So your constructor is throwing the exception here in our case. So it is the responsibility of the constructor to inform the compiler regarding the possibility of this kind of exception. So how to inform? Throws invalid box exception. That's it. So we have informed. Invalid box exception. So we have thrown it. We have using throws clause, we have informed the compiler, and the constructor is going to inform. In our case, constructor is generating the exception. The method in which the exception gets generated, that method has the responsibility to inform the compiler. Am I clear, Amit? Right. One more thing. This is an exception which is the checked exception, right? So your main method, first responsibility is of the box to inform the compiler. Now, but box is a method which is called by another method, right? So even your main method has to do this. Even your main method has to do this. Got why we are writing it both the places? Because your actual exception is getting generated inside a box, but box is a method which is called in some another method, called by some another method. So all the methods which are calling the which are taking part in generating the exception, that all method has to inform the compiler. Am I clear with this? So let's run it and see. Right now box is created because we are having the positive values. Let me keep one value as negative, one value as 0. So if any one is 0, we are going to have the exception. You can see that you cannot create a box with 0 dimension. Fine with this? If you want to inform using try catch, then also it's simple. You just keep it here try, and just complete this, and you'll be having catch, and here we will be writing invalid box exception E, and whatever you have written here, you are writing it here. Now if it is this, right? So this is how it is going to work. Let us see right now. All the three are positive, so we should have the box created successfully. If anyone becomes zero, let's run the file. You cannot create a box with 0 dimension. So this is how you have used the try catch. If you are not using the try catch, if you are using the try catch, then no issue. Then no need to have a throws clause. Run the file and you will be having the output. You cannot create a box with 0 dimension. So this is how you are informing the compiler, either through try catch or through throws clause. Am I clear with this? Everyone, please respond. Okay, fine. और अभी आप मुझे लॉजिकली बताओ, एक ये इनवैलिड बॉक्स एक्सेप्शन का एक्सेप्शन जनरेट हो रहा है. लेट्स से आई एम हैविंग दिस, इफ माय सपोज मेरी एक कंडीशन और भी है कि वो 0 से कम नहीं होना चाहिए, 0 या तो 0 से कम नहीं होना चाहिए, और 20 से ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए, 20 से ज्यादा नहीं होना चाहिए. So can you have only one exception for both the condition, or for both these conditions we need different exception? If I have two conditions that it should not, yeah, for our scenario one exception will be fine, but it may happen that you are having two different scenarios, and for both the scenarios, yes, for this case one exception will work. So see, what I wanted to tell you is, it depends on your conditions, that if your conditions are such that only one type of exception class will be suffice for you, and every exception can be handled by that exception, then it's fine. But it may happen that you are having different scenarios, and for all the different scenarios you may have to create a different exception class. Let me give you one example. Say suppose I'm writing the date like 31st 11 2021. Is it a valid date or not? I'm writing, it's a valid date or not? It's not a valid date, right? Why it is not a valid date? Because you are having 31st, we don't have 31 in November. We don't have 31. But actually the problem occurred due to date. Date was problem. Month and year was correct. Right? Month and year was correct. So there can be situation where you want to tell user that you are having invalid month, invalid date or invalid year. Right? Suppose मैंने ऐसी date लिखी 02/04/202. Is it a valid date? No, this is not a valid date. Because year is, देखो 202 here. You should have length of 4, right? So ये भी valid नहीं है, लेकिन valid एक year में ही problem है. Date और month तो correct है. ठीक है, तो कभी कभी ऐसी भी सिचुएशंस होती है कि आपको अलग अलग कंडीशंस के लिए अलग अलग एक्सेप्शंस क्लास जनरेट करने पड़े. Am I clear? So you can create three different exceptions like invalid year, invalid date and invalid month, right? So if your date is between 1 to 28 or 1 to 30, right now we are keeping everything 30, not considering too many complexity. So if the date is between 1 to 30, your date is okay. If the month is between 1 to 12, it is okay. If the year is having the length of 4, and if it is between 1901 to 2021, then it's fine, right? So these are some conditions. Are you getting the point, guys? So it depends that which conditions you are putting and how many number of exception classes you need to make. All okay? This is absolutely valid. This is absolutely valid. What is the problem with this? You are having 02. You are having the second day in the month of March. See, Brajesh, I am not focusing on date. I am just focusing on, wanted to tell you that it may happen that you need to create multiple exception classes to generate multiple type of exceptions. Am I clear? Okay, fine. So I'm proceeding with the next set of topic we have already covered. Okay, exception handling is fine. We have done checked, unchecked. Even we have done the finally clause. You can keep see the syntax of finally. Finally block may be added immediately after try block or after the last catch block. Finally block in general used to perform housekeeping operations such as closing files and releasing system resources. We have discussed this, right? Finally block when present is guaranteed to execute regardless of whether an exception will be thrown or not. If you have returned the finally block, it is going to be executed for sure. Now this is the general syntax of finally clause. You can have the combination of try finally, that's perfectly fine. The exception will be handled by JVM. Okay? In the second case, you are having the try block, you are catching the exceptions and handling it, and at the end you are having the finally clause. So this is also valid. And we have already done the execution of finally. Okay? So these are some of the examples. Okay. One more thing I wanted to tell you. Let me just go into the code and help you out. Okay. Where is that exception class? Yeah. Okay, now you have to tell me one thing. Okay. Integer j is equal to 5 by 10. Take 5 by 0, right? Now, what we do is while doing the exception handling code, what we generally do, we try to identify the statements which may generate the exception and keep that inside a try block, right? So based on the exceptions possibility or different exceptions that can be generated, we write multiple catch block to handle that exception. But sometimes, see, this is a simple 15-20 lines of code, nothing more than that. But when you go to the real-time application, even if you try to handle, even if you create the catch block individually for all the possible exceptions that might be generated, it may happen that you may miss some of the exceptions which can be generated for a catch block, right? So the exceptions which are not caught by the catch block, what will happen to them? मान लो मैंने यहाँ अरिथमेटिक एक्सेप्शन कैच किया और एरे इंडेक्स आउट ऑफ बाउंड कैच किया, लेकिन ये दोनों में से कोई भी एक्सेप्शन नहीं हो रहा है, कोई और तीसरा ही एक्सेप्शन हो रहा है, तो क्या होगा हमारे कोड में, हमारे कोड के हिसाब से क्या होगा? These two exceptions are not generated, तो इसके कैच ब्लॉक एग्जीक्यूट हो वो पॉसिबिलिटी नहीं है, कोई और तीसरा ही एक्सेप्शन जनरेट हो रहा है, तो what will be the flow, how your program is going to be work? Can anyone just want to try? अगर checked exception will be called, no, forget about checked unchecked, forget about checked unchecked, एक तीसरा ही एक्सेप्शन जनरेट हो रहा है. सी बजरंग फाइनली विल बी कॉल्ड एट द एंड. मैं बोल रही हूँ ट्राई ब्लॉक में कुछ ऐसा लिखा है जो मैंने कैच नहीं किया, कुछ एक्सेप्शन, ऐसा कोई तीसरी लाइन यहाँ पे मैंने डाली है जिससे कोई तीसरा ही, why it will stop out of the code, guys? Why are you not understanding the basic thing? When you are not handling the exception, when you are not catching the exception and handling it, who is going to do that? Who is going to do that? I am telling that I have catched two type of exception. I have two type of exception. So the third exception is going to be generated here, right? अभी मैंने वो थर्ड एक्सेप्शन, एग्जैक्टली अमित, थर्ड एक्सेप्शन मैंने हैंडल नहीं किया तो कौन हैंडल करेगा? That's what the beauty of Java is, guys, that even if you are not handling, Java will be there always for you to handle the exception situations. Yes, exactly. So JVM is going to handle the handle the third exception. It is, yeah, but the thing is it will terminate the program after printing that exception. That's true, right? But it's not that the program will terminate or something like that. It will be handled. It will be handled by JVM's default exception handler, and it is going to terminate the program. Now, so to avoid such kind of behavior of your program, what we generally do is, it may happen that there is a exception which gets generated and we are not providing the catch block associated with that particular exception. So we should have a practice. We should have a practice that after catching all the possible type of exceptions, we should always have one general catch block which can catch all the type of exceptions. I repeat, it may happen in your try block, you are trying to catch all the possible exceptions that might be generated. But it may happen sometimes that you may miss some of the catch blocks and your exception is going to be handled by JVM. So to avoid that, we should keep one general catch block कि मान लो यहाँ पे कैच नहीं हुआ, यहाँ पे कैच नहीं हुआ, तो एक जनरल कैच ब्लॉक तो हम लिखेंगे ही जिससे कि कोई भी एक्सेप्शन जनरेट हो, तीसरा चौथा कोई भी जनरेट हो, there must be someone to catch it and handle it, right? So how to write a general catch block? General catch block means not specific to exception, general exception. So what we write? Exception E. Let us write it here. General exception block. Are you getting, guys? Are you getting? Yeah. So this is a generic catch block which can catch all the type of exception. Now how? How? Let's say जो third exception generate हो रहा है वो number format exception है. जल्दी, मैं अभी जो भी क्वेश्चन पूछ रही हूँ उसका जल्दी से जवाब देना, ठीक है? बहुत जल्दी. आई वांट अ वेरी क्विक रिस्पॉन्स. अभी जो तीसरा, ये दोनों एक्सेप्शन जनरेट नहीं हो रहे हैं, ये तीसरा एक्सेप्शन हो रहा है नंबर फॉर्मेट एक्सेप्शन. Now when number format exception will be generated, what will happen internally? Be quick. What will happen internally? When your JVM will identify that this is the exception, what will it do? First thing, be quick, guys, very quick. What will happen when your JVM is going to identify that exception has occurred? What is the first step? See, this is not done, guys, from your side. I want very quick response.
Ma'am, creation of object.
Exactly. The object will be created specific to that type. Now, object हो गया, मतलब new वाला. हमने, अगर आपको याद है तो हमने ये करा था. Exactly. Object will be created. Fine. Oh, you all are writing? I think I was not getting the responses. Okay, great. Yes, correct. So, sorry. Right. So, object generate हुआ, मतलब ऐसा होगा new number format exception, ये और ये होगा और ये throw हो जाएगा. थ्रो होगा दैट मीन्स देयर मस्ट बी समवन टू कैच इट. तो क्या हो जाएगा, व्हेन द एक्सेप्शन इज गोइंग टू थ्रो, फर्स्ट कहाँ पे मैच होगा, यहाँ पे. तो यहाँ पे ये होल्ड कर सकता है, यस और नो. कैन एरिथमेटिक एक्सेप्शन होल्ड दिस नंबर फॉर्मेट, नो. देन अगेन दूसरा कैच ब्लॉक मैच होगा, ये दूसरा कैच ब्लॉक है जो एरे इंडेक्स आउट ऑफ बाउंड्स एक्सेप्शन, कैन इट हैंडल दिस, again no, because both the types are different. Yes, correctly. Now let us go to the third. We are having still one catch block, so let us see whether you are having. So it is something like this, it is something like this. Exception, it's something like this, exception E is equal to new number format exception. ये हो जाएगा. Is it possible or not? Is this possible or not? Why yes, why yes, okay, okay, fine. Why yes, give me the name of the concept which is helping us. So it is something like exception E is equal to new number format exception. Why it is possible? Inheritance, okay. I want a specific, we have learned a specific topic which is helping us to do this. I want the name of this. Read it very carefully and do remember the exception hierarchy in your mind, that superclass is the throwable, its subclass is exception, its subclass is and runtime exception, its subclass is a number format exception. So which is that topic which is helping us? I'm expecting this answer. The broad topic is yes, due to inheritance it is possible, but I want a specific topic. No one? The reason is telling you, I'm giving you one hint. What is the relation between number format exception and exception? What is the relationship between number format exception and exception? Yes, parent child, correct. Which is parent class? Which is parent class?
Exception class, ma'am.
Correct. And the number format exception class is the child class. Now translate this statement into English. Superclass reference pointing to subclass object. Which is this concept? We can
Dynamic method dispatch.
exactly, very good. So due to dynamic method dispatch, it is possible that superclass reference can point to child class object, and hence this statement is possible. Your exception reference can catch the number format exception object. Whereas if you look here, arithmetic exception and number format exception does not have any parent-child relationship. Similarly, array index out of bounds and number format exception does not have the parent-child relationship. Hence, it cannot hold. But when it comes to exception, exception is the super class of all the exceptions in Java. Right? Even if it is checked and checked exception or unchecked exception, it is going to be the super class for all the exceptions in Java, whether it is Java inbuilt exception or user defined exception. Ultimately, every exception class will be subclass of exception. Yes, general exception can hold all the type of exception. Agreed? Got this, everyone? And that's why for a safer side, we always put one general catch block which can hold all the type of exceptions which are generated if it is not catch specifically through the catch block. Now, if you remember, while doing the multiple catch block, I have told you that sequence of catch block is going to matter, right? You are supposed to write the catch block in proper sequence. The thing is, let me readjust the code little bit, and what will happen, see. I am just cutting this code here, catch block, general catch block, and here I am writing the catch block. First of all, the compiler is giving me the editor is clever enough so that it is giving me the error. Now look it. कोई भी यहाँ पे exception generate हुआ, कोई भी. एरिथमेटिक, नंबर फॉर्मेट, एरे इंडेक्स, आईओ, जितने भी एक्सेप्शन है वो जनरेट हुए, सबसे पहले वो कौन सा कैच ब्लॉक मैच करेगा, फर्स्ट, सेकेंड या थर्ड? वी नो दैट कैच ब्लॉक्स आर ऑलवेज मैच्ड इन सीक्वेंस, जो जैसे ही सीक्वेंस में आप लिखे यस करेक्ट, सो द फर्स्ट कैच ब्लॉक इज गोइंग टू बी मैच्ड। अभी ये क्या होगा, इसमें से कोई भी एक्सेप्शन जनरेट हुआ यहाँ पे तो होल्ड होने ही वाला है, यस और नो? क्योंकि यू ड्यू टू डायनामिक मेथड डिस्पैच कोई भी एक्सेप्शन जनरेट हुआ यहाँ तो कैच हो ही जाएगा, ठीक है। नाउ व्हेन यू आर राइटिंग द एक्सेप्शन, जेनेरिक एक्सेप्शन कैच ब्लॉक एज फर्स्ट, नीचे कितने भी कैच ब्लॉक आपने लिखे हो, इज इट गोइंग टू बी इवैल्यूएटेड एट एनी पॉइंट ऑफ टाइम? जितने भी कैच ब्लॉक कभी नहीं होंगे, तो ये कोड का कोई मतलब ही नहीं हुआ। ये कोड आपने इतना सारा लिखा लेकिन इसका कोई मतलब ही नहीं हुआ, क्योंकि this code is never ever going to execute even if you have crores of exceptions or any type of exception in your code, because you are writing the general catch block above the all the specific catch blocks. So you can say exception already has been caught, right? Similarly, array index out of bound has already been caught in exception class. So this is not going to happen. This catch block is never going to execute. So the conclusion is the superclass exception catch block must be below the subclass. मान लो अगर मैं तीन एक्सेप्शन, तीन कैच ब्लॉक लिख रही हूं, पहले में पहला है एरिथमेटिक, दूसरा है रन टाइम एक्सेप्शन और तीसरा है एक्सेप्शन, तो कौन सी सीक्वेंस में लिखेंगे? रन टाइम है, एरिथमेटिक है और एक्सेप्शन है, कौन सा लिखेंगे सबसे पहले? कौन सा लिखेंगे? एग्जैक्टली, द सब क्लास शुड बी रिटर्न फर्स्ट। तो पहले अरिथमेटिक लिखेंगे, दूसरा कौन सा लिखेंगे?
रन टाइम
वाला लिखेंगे, बिकॉज रन टाइम इज दी सुपर क्लास ऑफ एरिथमेटिक। तो मान लो कोई एरिथमेटिक का जनरेट हुआ तो एरिथमेटिक वाला पकड़ लेगा, लेकिन एरे इंडेक्स आउट ऑफ बाउंड हुआ तो एरिथमेटिक नहीं पकड़ सकेगा, तो वो जाएगा दूसरे कैच ब्लॉक में, दैट इज रन टाइम विच कैन होल्ड इट, बिकॉज एरे इंडेक्स आउट ऑफ बाउंड इज सुपर क्लास ऑफ, इज सब क्लास ऑफ रन टाइम। एंड लास्ट में हम कौन सा लिखेंगे? एक्सेप्शन। Means in general exception, I'm not getting your question, Bajrang. In short, my main idea to tell you is that the catch block of the sequence of the catch block does matter when you are having the parent-child relationship exception classes in it. If you are having arithmetic and array index out of bound, the sequence doesn't matter because it is not having any parent-child relationship. But when you are writing exception and runtime exception, it is having a parent-child relationship. So the child class exception class should be returned first and then the parent class. Will it print types of exception means what? It will be holding when this is going to catch. यहाँ पे जो भी आएगा, I am not getting, Bajrang, unmute yourself and ask me.
हेलो मैम।
हाँ बोलो।
मैम मैं बोल रहा था कि मैम जो जनरल एक्सेप्शन है तो वो मतलब प्रिंट करेगा कि किस टाइप का एक्सेप्शन जनरेट हुआ, जैसे एरे आउट।
हाँ, ये जनरल कैच ब्लॉक का पूछ रहे हो ना आप?
यस मैम।
हाँ, तो मान लो ये मैंने डिलीट कर दिए, ठीक है?
यस मैम।
अभी कौन सा जनरेट होगा मेरे कोड में?
थर्ड वन मैम, ये
नहीं, कौन सा अभी कौन सा होगा? मैंने एक ही क्लच कैच ब्लॉक रखा है, अभी कौन सा होगा मेरे कोड में? ये ट्राई में देखो आप, कौन सा जनरेट होगा? एरिथमेटिक होगा ना, क्योंकि आई एम ट्राइंग टू डिवाइड अ नंबर बाय 0। यस और नो?
यस मैम।
तो इसी लाइन में मेरा एक्सेप्शन जनरेट होगा। कौन सा होगा? एरिथमेटिक। तो जेवीएम क्या करेगा? एरिथमेटिक का ऑब्जेक्ट बनाएगा और वो थ्रो करेगा, लेकिन वो हैंडल नहीं करेगा। इंस्टेड, बिकॉज वी हैव प्रोवाइडेड अ कैच ब्लॉक, the catch block is going to handle that exception. तो वो जो object है which is going to be pointed by this reference, and when you try to print that value, it is going to give you the information. Let me run it. किया ना print?
Yes, ma'am. Got it.
ठीक है, करेगा ही क्योंकि it is pointed by E. It does not matter कि ये general exception है तो वो हमें बताएगा नहीं कि actually कौन सा हुआ. It is the only thing that it is who is catching the exception, who can catch the exception, and based on the possibility of catching the exception, the catch block sequence should be returned. Am I clear with this or not, everyone? So sequence of these, this is actually multiple choice question, interview question, viva question, that if we have multiple catch blocks in our program, then what should be the sequence? Does the sequence matter? Yes, it matters when you have the exceptions, multiple exceptions having parent-child relationship. And what is the sequence to be returned? The child class exception catch block should be returned first, and super class catch block, the super class exception catch block should be returned afterward. And if you are writing a general catch block, that is a exception वाला, ये जो जिसको बोलते हैं हम general catch block, तो ये अगर आप general catch block लिख रहे हो, this should be always return in the last of all the catch blocks, क्योंकि ये सबका parent class है, सबका, ठीक है? So this is what multiple catch blocks. So majority of the things we have completed as far as exception handling is concerned from my side, but I'll be seeing whether if any point is missing, I'll be discussing it with you in the next session. And if everything will be over, then we'll be moving on to the next part of the syllabus. Fine. I am planning to start your IO handling, that is file handling, where you have to use multiple classes to read and write the content of files. That will be seen. So I'm planning to start the new unit from next time. I'll see whether any topic is missed out from my side or not. So think for a while. If you have any query, let me know. Meanwhile, let me take your attendance. Today is 2nd of April. We did multiple catch sequence, and what else we did today? Yeah, user defined exception. Demo. Yes, so Zaki Ahmad, Sachin, Chinmay, Dhairya. Attend your roll calls, everyone. Yeah. Dhairya is not there. Milan, Hitesh, Hina, Chirag. Vensi, Kamalraj, Astha, Shelvi. Shelvi is not there. Jai Kishan, Hiren, Naresh, Munaf. Yatesh, Mohib Hussain. Krish, Mishi. Kushal, Umang, Parth, Kartik. Deep, Urvisha, Mihir, Nirali. Sharad, Rahul, Shreya, Krishna, Milan. Sunil, Harsh, Yash, Diksha. Zenith, Varun, Stuti, Akshay, Om, Harshil. Dev, Yash, Kinjal, Jai. Manan, Bhagyesh, Bhargav, Sahista. Aryan, Amit, Ruma, Bajrang. Sonu, Aman, Rajiv, Akhilesh. Kashish, Rahul, Umang, Mananjay. Sonu, Divyanshu. Sonu, Divyanshu, Bhumika, Chandan. Gagan, Vinay, Abhiraj, Shravan. Rinku, Roshan, Ashish, Priyanka. Vicky, Manish, Alsaif, Prajesh. Vicky, Manish, Alsaif, Prajesh. Rohini, Akash and Ravi. Okay, anybody left?
मैम राजीव।
Okay. Anybody?
मैम
Yes.
धैर्य।
क्या मिस થઈ ગઈ છે ધૈર્ય?
મેમ ચેટમાં મેસેજ કર્યો પણ ના સમજ્યો.
સારું ચલો. Anybody else? Shall we? Okay. Now anybody left for attendance? Okay. So thank you everyone for joining. Wish you a very happy day, happy weekend. Take care and goodbye. Keep learning. Yeah, bye. Bye, Ravi. Bye. Take care.